So we have Shadows Follow. The intro is boring, the main riff is like a 4 out of 10, the verse is a 10 out of 10 because when he sings fast like it's rap, it sounds really good. He's been doing that since Def Magnetic for some reason, but it sounds really good, it keeps the energy up. So the chorus melody and the descending guitar line is very good, it's very minimalistic and simple. And that 6-5-3-5 riff, da-na-na-na, it feels so freaking overused. And the riffs throughout the song, it feels like they're so similar to each other or like I've heard of it all before. But the chorus is very good. The next song is Sleepwalk My Life Away and there's a bass intro, so all the hardcore fans are nutting their pants right now. The verse is very forgettable, the pre-chorus is good. The way he says dreaming is very cool, but the song it feels really like a filler. At first I was not excited about the lyric Wake Me because of all of the memes, but it's good. Next one, You Must Burn. So this song is the song that everyone keeps comparing Sad But True to. But it really also feels like a filler, it's very boring to me. I was afraid in the song he will keep mentioning fire and I was right. He mentions fire, burn, flames, smoke, backfire, hell, torching, heat. And it really sounds like a load riff. A lot of these riffs really sound like bluesy load riffs. And the bridge melody and the riff after the bridge is the only thing that caught my ear. That's actually interesting. In the middle of a song, I had a feeling maybe they would get faster because it's like the energy was building, but they didn't. So I guarantee for this one, if they play it live, a lot of people will yawn. And the song is kind of forgettable. Next one, Crown of Barbed Wire. Once you hear the song, you get this kind of harmonic minor type of feel, I guess. And the riff at 55 seconds is the best riff I've heard so far. And it's the only riff that made me want to headbang and say wow. All of the songs I heard before this, it absolutely didn't make me want to headbang at all. And the last phrase of the pre-chorus is very good. Oh, like a pop song. The drum and riff breakdown was cool. The riff has potential, but this song also feels like kind of unnecessary. The outro has Chugga Chugga, which is good. Alright, Chasing Light. Oh boy, what we need is another Fuel meme. They knew what they were doing because the first lyric of the verse was ooh. And at this point, all of the intros sound freaking the same. Some attacks, then some lead random stuff. So far, this is the most unique riff they've done. It feels so weird to have like those major notes in that riff. But it really sets it apart from all of the other stuff that almost sounds exactly the same. The pre-chorus riff is cool, didn't expect that high note on the chorus when he sings Lean On Me. And it instantly reminds me of Kill 'Em All James. The bridge kind of feels unnecessary, but this is the first song that actually feels like Metallica. It's weird because when I was listening to this, I keep thinking, wow, this is Metallica. This is what Metallica should be, something like that. But the melody for the verse, pre-chorus, and chorus are very forgettable. But this is the most creative so far in terms of riffs. Next one, Too Far Gone. The riff feels like a Seek and Destroy ripoff. In the verse, that part was very cool and more fast rapping, which I like. The first part of the chorus, boom pa pa pa, boom pa pa pa, it feels like a low effort and justice for all type of attack. But the second part of the chorus, it's the best chorus I've heard so far. When they play that fast riff and I think they play a major something, I don't know, but it feels like a freaking motivational anime opening song when they play it like that. And thank God, finally a song that's less than 5 minutes long. And it has harmonies, which is always good. Whenever I hear harmonies, it instantly reminds me of Ride the Lightning or And Justice for All. And the way the guitar solo starts is very cool. It's like it's coming up, it's like this. Then the outro riff is very cool, but they only played for like 4 bars. The first one, just a generic riff. Then the second bar, boom, 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 boom. So simple, but it's very, very cool. So Room of Mirrors. Finally, some thrash punk beats. Uh-oh, he mentioned Broken Beat and Scarred. All the nerds are gonna go crazy over that. The same old tum-ta-ta-ta snare attack. Throughout the songs, there are a lot of catchy licks that I can't really remember, but it's very catchy. In 3 minutes 48 seconds, it really reminds me of To Live Is To Die. And there's double bass. This is another song that makes me think this is Metallica. It definitely, I can feel this is a crowd favorite and one of the highlights of the album. And the last song is Inamorata. I never thought I'd see the lyrics, I love her in a Metallica song. The last phrase of the chorus is good, the vocal and guitar part is very catchy. And yes, finally a bass solo part. All the fans are creaming their pants right now. But the 16-note hi-hat counting really ruined the vibe. If it was just the bass first, then guitar, then drums, then it'll be more impactful. This seems to be like the worst choice someone has ever made. I know he's a very great arranger, but come on, man. Imagine the interlude to Master of Puppets, dung 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 dung, then there's like hi-hat counting ruining it, and then like Orion, dung 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 dung, and then there's hi-hat counting. You don't need that, it just needs to be the bass only. And that soft chorus, it was the only special part of the song. It sounds so nice. And in 7 minutes 12 seconds, it really reminds me of the Creeping Death outro, and I have a feeling James plays this solo. In 7 minutes 28 seconds, there's a lot of fast like triplet things. It reminds me of the outro of One and Fight Fire with Fire when they have dual guitars. And in 8 minutes and 3 seconds of the song, that's the only interesting attack of the song. And this song, yes, it has mild double bass, everyone's happy with that. But honestly, to me, there's nothing astounding about the song. Just because it's the longest song in Metallica's history doesn't make it automatically their best song or their most ambitious. For me, the standard of this song is like more or less the same as all the other ones. There's some good parts, there's some bad parts, but it's like nothing really very special about it. So after saying all of that, this whole album overall, it's a very catchy album, a lot of blues licks, you can compare it to Load. It's very mid-paced hard rock, only 2 thrash songs, and no tempo changes like One, Master of Puppets, or Blackened. The highlight songs for me are 72 Seasons, Room or Mirrors, Too Far Gone, and Maybe Screaming. The only criticism I have is that there's so much hi-hat counting, it's just a studio recording, you don't need that. If live, yeah, I can understand. And a lot of the intros feel the frickin' same. I'm not expecting every intro to have acoustic parts like To Live Is To Die, Battery, and Fight Fire. And I'm not expecting every intro to be like groundbreaking and then have a million attacks and then so many things going on, but it just feels like very forgettable. And this is my first time listening to it, so you can't expect me to love it instantly or like know all the parts already and be familiar with it, because I'm not. When I go into the next song, I already forgot what the last song sounds like, honestly. But in conclusion, this album, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of hits inside. There are a lot of good and bad parts, but not really as iconic. It doesn't need to be. Of course, I would still prefer all of the stuff I already listened to instead of this because I'm more familiar with those things. But this just doesn't really scream iconic album or hits or whatever. It just seems like a good try type of album. But if Metallica really wanted to make an album and it felt right and genuine, then I know they'll do it. They never felt pressured to make an album or just like poop out an album every year like that. They never follow that kind of thing. That's why there's so many long gaps. This one you can just say, okay, it's acceptable, they're freaking 60, maybe they're gonna retire soon already. And I'm just grateful for that. It doesn't need to be Injustice for All Part 2, it doesn't need to be complicated, it doesn't need to be groundbreaking. Just let them have fun making music, and that's it.